Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about Vagrant Provisioners. Provisioner and Vagrant allow you to automatically install software, alter or put some configuration, and many more settings which you want to do on your target machine. There are two types of provisioners. One is local, second is remote. Local is basically shell provisioner, where you put your shell commands which will get executed on the machine when it is coming up. Remote provisioner, you can use tools like Ansible, Puppet, or Chef, which will do the configuration work remotely, means from your host system. That tool will send commands on remote system using the way you use that tool. For this particular lab, I have picked Ansible as automation tool because that's very popular one, and most of the guys in IT now using Ansible. You can see on your screen example of shell provisioner where you can put your commands. You have to define shell provisioner vm.provisioner shell. For Ansible, that is going to be Ansible. With shell, you specify inline commands. You can see here how I specified, like user add. With sudo, I'm specifying because in case for that command root privilege required, so sudo is going to do that trick. Install httpd, then start httpd.service. In Ansible, I'm simply running this playbook where I have defined ansible.playbook is equal to playbook name. You may be wondering how you can get setting, from where you can come to know ansible.verbose is equal to v, what it mean, ansible.playbook, how you can get this particular thing, how to define the playbook. In that case, guys, there are documentation available. That's very limited documentation, but again, that's sufficient if you are a beginner and you want to explore the things and start working. When you start working, you will automatically get experience how to use these particular settings. I'm going to record a separate video in same course where you can see from where you can find the help in case required. Now, for shell provisioner, which I mentioned is a local provisioner, let's say you got 100 commands which you want to execute on within that remote machine. Defining 100 commands is going to make your Vagrant file very bigger, and that is something which I always try to avoid. Instead of specifying 100 commands separately, you can create a shell script where you can define all the things which you want to run on remote machine. Let me give an example which I already did here. Let's say you have created a script called apache.sh and change its mode to 755 so anyone can execute it. In this script, I'm just simply running rpm-q to httpd. If Apache is not installed, it will echo not installed, it will install it. Here I'm using sudo. As I mentioned, this command needs root level access. So guys, in this example, shell provisioner is a local provisioner, which means this script need to be available on the target machine before shell can run it, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to put this script in the project directory, and by default project directory will be shared to target machine as /vagrant. So the script path is going to be /vagrant /apache.sh. I'm repeating why I'm going to do that, because shell provisioner is a local provisioner. That script need to be available on remote machine before Vagrant can execute it. So the only way, put it in your shared folder, which is a project directory of host, and it will be mounted on /vagrant on target machine. Then this script will get executed when Vagrant is bringing the environment up. In case of automation tool provisioner or remote provisioner, the YAML file, or basically Ansible playbook, that need to be on your host machine only, because that's a remote provisioner. It is going to do all the magic or all the playbook execution remotely from your host system. It is going to send commands. Only requirement for remote provisioner, you need to have that remote provisioner tool installed on your host system. In case of Ansible, I already got Ansible installed on my host system. You can see playbook is very easy. So here host is localhost. But sometime it may fail. It may say it is not able to find localhost. You can specify host name or host IP. So instead of host localhost, you can say all here. Let me do it quickly, which means it will send commands without any issue. Let me do it quickly. So here I have updated localhost with all. So command will execute. And in playbook, I'm doing two simple tasks. First, I'm installing Apache latest version, then starting the Apache service, which is HTTPD. So let's do a quick lab, guys, where it will give more idea on the provisioners. So here we will start this lab by using shell provisioner, which is local provisioner. I will explain what I'm doing. I have already created a project directory called shell provisioner lab. Here in the content, I go to Vagrant file and Apache script. Let me show you Apache script, which we already discussed, but again, this is Apache script. Here, let me update the script by running commands with sudo privileges. Even for local provisioner, if you don't define sudo, it is going to work. For remote provisioner, you need to specify sudo, like become keyword, which is in Ansible, which will allow a normal user to become root. So that looks good. Okay, now let me show you Vagrant file. In the Vagrant file, I'm using this provisioner where I have specified /vagrant/apache.sh. I'm repeating why I have specified /vagrant because this particular directory, all content of this directory will be automatically mounted in, not mounted, mounted is not a right word, will be available in this particular /vagrant path on remote machine or new machine. So this script is the complete path which will be available and that will get executed. So let's run a quick lab, guys, where I can define the things. So let's run vagrant ssh, not vagrant up, and see what happens, whether this script get executes or not. Then I can show you how the script looks like or available on remote machine. So far going good. You can see it is running shell provisioner now. Here you can see this project folder is mounted as or diverted as /vagrant on target machine. That's the reason we have specified /vagrant/apache.sh. So this script is running now and it is installing latest version of Apache. So we got message Apache install. That's good, guys. It means our shell provisioner worked. So let's log into machine and see what is the configuration. Here I'm going to run rpm -qa http to see whether Apache is running or not, or sorry, installed or not. You can see Apache is installed, guys, so everything worked fine. And I was mentioning, so your project directory will be available here in the /vagrant. If you see ls-l, you can see on the target machine this contents are available. That's the reason shell is called local provisioner. It executed /vagrant/apache.sh on this machine. So guys, this was our shell provisioner. Now let's talk about automation tool provisioner. For that, I have already created a separate project called Ansible ProLab. Here, let me show you content. Let me delete this retry file, which was created during my testing. Here, we got Apache 2.yml. We already discussed this playbook. So host all become true means script will get executed with sudo rights. Let me show you Vagrant file. In the Vagrant file, you can see here I'm using Ansible Provisioner. Verbose, yes, you can update the verbose level to V if you want more verbose output, but I'm keeping it minimal. Ansible playbook, I have specified Ansible playbook name. This playbook is in my project directory. This is remote provisioner, so this script is not required to be available remotely. So that's the reason I haven't specified path like /vagrant/apache.yml. So this path is fine. So let's bring this machine up and see whether this Provisioner runs. Again, one thing I forgot to mention, that you need Ansible installed on your system, or whatever automation tool provisioner you want to use, that need to be installed. In my case, I got Ansible installed. In case you are not aware how to install Ansible, in the help section I will share a video where I will give you some material on Ansible. Also, you can learn Ansible from my videos. So Ansible is installed. Let's run Vagrant and see what happens. In case you want to do some deployment which need a lot of automation, let's say you want to install LAMP stack, you want to install some application, and you already got playbooks, you can use those playbooks here using Ansible Provisioner. I hope this works without any issue, because I have already tested. It was working. You can see it is running Ansible Provisioner now here, and gathered fact was fine, installing HTTPD. If you haven't defined become is equal to true, it is not going to install any package, because installation of package on target environment needs sudo rights. So Vagrant user already got sudo rights. Only thing we have to set become is equal to true. Guys, you can see Apache got installed and this playbook finished successfully. So that's a way remote provisioner do its magic. As I mentioned, you can use your own playbooks which you already got to configure the stack, LAMP stack, or any other application. So that's it in this session, guys. Another thing I want to explain before closing this session, for remote provisioner especially, here if I run ls-la, I will show you something here in the .vagrant directory. You can see there is another folder called provisioners now. And if I go to provisioner, I just want to show you this folder got created because we used provisioner. And here you can see Ansible inventory, Vagrant Ansible inventory. So these are the files which got created. In the inventory, how Ansible communicates from this host to target machine. This is the way, guys. It used localhost entry to communicate. Ansible port is 2203. Why 2203? Because this is the port forwarding. That's the reason. Port forwarding is very important, and that's used with Vagrant. Let me show you port forwarding here. You can see port 22 is forwarded port 2203 here. It will use a Vagrant for all Ansible communication. It will use this particular key, which I already discussed in last sessions, to communicate. So guys, this is the way Ansible do all its magic. So now I can say I have explained a little bit. You do practice and you will learn. I'm going to share this whole PPT, or at least these playbooks, with you, so you can start by using these, and after that you can amend them. You can do more customization as per your requirement. That's it in this session, guys. Thank you.